As someone who was exposed to the Legend of Zelda series via Ocarina of Time on the N64 at the tender age of 3, I am well aware of how terrifyingly creative the Zelda team is. Emphasis on terrifying. Between massive spiders that could give anyone arachnophobia, dungeons whose walls were quite literally built with the bones of the tortured, and even, quote, zombies that put the current cinema crazes version of the thing to shame, it's a wonder how more of us were not scarred from this series. Well, I was scarred, but music and story, mostly music, always won me over in the end. At the risk of opening the door to long-forgotten toddler nightmares, I have here today a list of Zelda bosses that I personally think are the scariest. Hey y'all, I'm the Geek Apprentice here with another list video. I'm pretty sure somewhere in a video or a stream long ago I said how I would never be someone who would do top 5s and top 10s because they're lazy videos, and then little did I realize that actually they're much more difficult to create than I thought, on top of which I enjoy watching videos like these, and I aim to make videos that I personally would enjoy watching if I were the viewer, so one thing led to another, and here we are. Also, y'all responded well to my eeriest Zelda themes video, so I figured why not more. If you're new here, I have a playlist dedicated to the Zelda franchise if you would like to watch those after you finish watching this one. And if you enjoy this video and end up subscribing, make sure you turn the notification bell on, because I will in the future be doing a follow-up video to this one where I talk about scariest enemies in The Legend of Zelda. When it comes to criteria for a boss making this list, it's pretty simple. It scared me and possibly made me cry at some point. That's it. It's not about difficulty or relevance to the story, just that I simply find the creature scary. So with that, let's talk about which bosses, or mini-bosses, or overworld bosses from the Legend of Zelda series I found to be the scariest. Right off the bat, I know what y'all are thinking. Calamity Ganon both phases was just so easy. I get that, and hey, it's only number 5 on this list, but thinking about the concept of that cutscene for phase number 1 and the creature we see, I am utterly disgusted and creeped out by this thing. I mean, come on, this monster was in this weird sack thing trying to develop its body for like the past 100 years, and then it breaks free and is this hodgepodge of dangerous Sheikah technology parts bound together by malice. And I think once we have the chance to play Age of Calamity and also the sequel to Breath of the Wild, we might have more respect for how terrifyingly creative this creature's design was, even if it was easy, especially when you consider whether or not you had the Divine Beast's aid or not. It's just really creepy to me nonetheless. I may have mentioned this in one of my first few videos, but I have really detailed and vivid dreams, and this includes nightmares, especially when I was young. So while I was never a fan of pixelated, blocky graphics, Link's Awakening and the premise for its bosses, especially its main boss, was extremely frightening to me and extremely relevant for me as well, whether it was on the Game Boy Color or on the Switch. You literally fight and hopefully defeat your nightmare. And what's cool about this is since Link is supposed to be just a vessel for you, the player, the nightmares are also like that too. You can make it personal and imagine what that nightmare is for you that you are defeating. But that's also what makes this so unsettling. Just look at this thing, some decapitated dude with just one eye and severed floating hands, his spine hanging from an unknown ceiling below the mausoleum that is the Shadow Temple. What the even heck, Nintendo? That alone is enough to give some young child night terrors, but then throw on top of that all of the theories and lore based on what some of the NPCs say about him. No, scary. We're done. Moving on. This one surprisingly came above Bongo Bongo, I know. It's barely even a mini boss, so how could it possibly make this list, let alone above the others? What I think happened is that I was already so numb from the Shadow Temple by the time I got to Bongo Bongo that then you put that in contrast to the light, fun feel of Wind Waker, and then this thing, I was a little shocked. Even in my most recent playthrough of Wind Waker HD, I'd be happily adventuring the Great Sea, enjoying the music and the sights when boom! Massive storm, this giant octopus like it came out of the myths of old sailors, and this whirlpool dragging me towards it. I always jumped when encountering this thing, no matter how easy it is to defeat. Now, what would be a list video without a few honorable mentions? Because obviously I find more than just 5 Zelda bosses to be scary, so here are some of the others that did not make this list. There is only one boss that whether I was 5, 15, or even now 25, I have a tendency to shiver a little and maybe even cry when facing it. And that's Dead Hand from the Well in Ocarina of Time. What's worse is you have to face this thing twice. I know it's a mini boss, but I don't care. I cannot deal with this one. Well, unless it's the 3DS remake, cause yuck, that thing looked like garbage and took all of the scare out of it. But going back to the original, it's no wonder this thing is the source of that meme that says, rated E for everyone, am I right? Concerning Ocarina of Time, because this suggests it's not E for everyone. My 3-year-old self can attest to that. Not E for everyone. And that is why Dead Hand from the Well in Ocarina of Time on the N64 is, to me, the scariest boss in the Legend of Zelda series. And that's my list of scariest Zelda bosses, mini-bosses, overworld bosses, and the like. Let me know in the comment section below which bosses always scared you or still scare you to this day, because let's be honest, there's no shortage of options. If you enjoyed this video, consider joining the geekdom by subscribing and checking out other videos. The channel has actually grown quite a lot in the past few months, so that's cool. Shout out and thank you to all of my patrons. You guys hold a very special place in the geekdom, and I'm extremely grateful for each and every one of you. And for those who don't know or tend to forget, I do live streams of playing video games, of course, usually very badly, and they're on Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Sundays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So see if you can check it out. Right now we're in the middle of Mario Galaxy, and for the month of October, I'm trying to dress up as a different character every stream. So I've been Minnie Mouse, I've been Pikachu, I've done a few things. So there's more to come. So check those out if you would like. But anyway, that's all for today. Thank you for watching.